Welcome to New Life Live, the premier place to receive free advice from Christian psychologists and counselors for the mental, emotional, relational, and spiritual challenges you face. Since 1988, we've offered compassionate responses that combine God's truth with proven psychological principles to guide you toward healing. Our phone lines are open. Call us now at 1-800-229-3000.
Thank you so much for listening to New Life Live or for watching us as well. My name is Perez, and we are here to answer your questions today for a full hour. And here to do that, we have licensed marriage and family therapist, Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris. How you doing, Jacqui?
I'm doing well.
Great.
Doing well. Glad to be here.
Yeah, and also here is Dr. Sheri Keffer, who is a doctor of marriage and family therapy. What's going on with you, Sheri?
Yeah, I was thinking today, I wanted to share a little bit of my life, a bit of a story, true story that happened with Connor and I. Now, Connor is my former husband who was struggling with sexual acting out, pornography, affairs, prostitutes, all of that. And I was thinking back to when we were in really early recovery. We were going in to see a couples therapist, and I was thinking about some things that were going on in our relationship that I didn't understand. And we went into counseling pretty soon after we were married because there were some things that seemed weird. Like as a new bride, I remember going up to him when he, was helping to wash dishes at the sink, and I went up to him and just went to nibble his ear, and he pulled away, kind of repulsed. And he didn't like it when I would rub my fingers through his hair. Like that, just didn't like that. And then he talked about how in counseling, he began to talk about how he would pull away from me when I would talk with my hands. Now, you guys probably know me here from New Life for a while. And those of you that are watching, you will see that I use my hands. It's just a part of who I am. And
But it bugged him.
He said it bugged him. And then there was this other thing that I did where he said, you make, when you're on the phone, you're talking to people, I just listen to you, and you make this ticking noise with your mouth. You make a ticking noise. So these were all the things he was bringing into the therapy room. And literally, because I so wanted to be in relationship with him and I so wanted it to work, that I found myself sitting on my hands to not move them. What I now know is what was going on is he was acting out sexually. That is gaslighting. That's blame shifting. That's putting the problem on me rather than owning what's really going on. But that was what was filling the counseling session. And I have a chapter in my book called Gaslighting, Deception, and Blame. Oh my. Where I talk about this. But what was actually going on is Connor was deflecting. He was defending. He was not only in denial, but really he was more in deception. He was really awake in his own world as to what was going on, but just this distraction and the crazy making and how that hurt my heart, and it made us not get traction in our treatment. And so if you are with someone and there's a lot of blaming going on, there are these reasons that just feel weird to you, I needed to listen to that, but I took the bait. And so anyway, maybe get a hold of that chapter in my book, Intimate Deception, Healing the Wounds of Sexual Betrayal. I want you to have good, healthy recovery. I want there to be ownership and acknowledgement and not all this spinny cuckoo. Like I felt crazy, but I wasn't. Crazy was happening around me. So.
And your new husband is okay with you using your hands and nibbling his ear and running your fingers through his hair?
Yeah, those are okay.
Well, good. And this book is available on the newlife.com store. Again, it's called Intimate Deception by Dr. Sheri Keffer. David, Angie, Jordan, everyone else, will get back to you on the phone in just a moment.
Restore gave me strength. It gave me more belief in my faith. I met up with a group of women that are going through things that they had no control over.
If you've been affected by betrayal, an emotional or physical affair, or pornography, the Restore Intensive will equip you with support and tools to help you through.
When two people want to do their part, we can be restored. But if they don't, we can still be restored. We are not stuck because someone else made a decision. That God lets us weigh in on how we want to walk out our lives. Our wellness does not hinge on another person's decision.
The Restore Intensive is coming to Dallas, Texas, May 2nd through the 4th. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50.
I had a great experience at Restore.
1-800-NEW-LIFE and the discount code NLL. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris and Dr. Sheri Keffer are here to answer your questions today on New Life Live, and we're going to begin this hour with Angie, who's calling in from Berkeley, California, listening on KFAX. Welcome to the program, Angie.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. Today I'm calling because I just need help finding the right referral for my son and for our family. My 17-year-old, 3 weeks ago, he left our home and left us a note that he intended to end his life. So a year and a half ago, we started seeing a lot of self-isolating, at school and at home, just wanting to be by himself, and losing, like he mentioned, he wasn't focusing in school, and school was now really hard for him, and he wasn't being able to focus. And in the past year and a half, we've had him see 3 different counselors, and none of them were able to get through to really see just how deeply depressed he was. And the note that he left us, it said that, he was just feeling so hopeless and didn't see a point in living, all of that. But he was also tired of hearing my husband and I argue so much throughout all his years of life. And so I just feel like that my husband and I contributed to, all this pain and hurt. And we were so focused on us that we didn't really see how much damage we were causing him, and so we just need help finding the right help and support for him. We've seen a counselor through our insurance right now, but I don't think she's really good or making any headway or getting to any of the root issues that are going on for him and our family.
How long has he been seeing the new counselor?
3 weeks now.
So I would say give it some more time. Whatever's going on with him is deep rooted, and it could take some time to form a good rapport, a good relationship, and for him to get to the point where he feels safe opening up and sharing everything with them. It also can take some time for the therapist to get to a place where they feel that the person can tolerate more pushing. And so 3 weeks isn't a whole lot of time. So give it, I would say, if you don't think that it's making it worse being with this therapist, give it a little more time and maybe have a conversation with the therapist and see if you can find out what's the treatment plan, what direction are we going in.
Does he have siblings? Are there other kids or no?
Yes, he has 2 older brothers.
And are they around or no? Are they off to school?
They're older, so one right now is actually at home. His oldest brother is at home, and then his middle sibling is off away at school in college.
Did the older brother know that he was suffering like this?
No, they didn't know either. He tells us that he was that he hid it and that he didn't want us to know how badly he was feeling, because then we would interfere with this plan to just end his life. So that's why he didn't let us know, and he didn't let the counselors, the previous counselors, know just what he was really feeling.
And one thing he did that was really brave, Angie, I mean, your son was insanely brave to tell you how the fighting was hurting him. Insanely brave. And he wrote that letter with the intent to not be here anymore. So that was like one of his last truths in his mind. It could have been a last truth. I would hear that with like a megaphone. The reason I'm saying that, and I don't know if you know this, Angie, but my brother took his life. He committed suicide 3 years ago. Yeah.
Sorry.
Thank you. It was so sad, heartbreaking beyond words, and it was right around Christmas. It was the week before Christmas, and no one knew. Like, his wife was at home. They were living with my mom. My mom didn't know. They were going to go shopping for gifts that day. My mom and his wife were making breakfast, and he took his life while they were making breakfast in the other room. But when somebody is thinking about taking their lives, and it's a very honest suicide attempt or a suicide letter, count on one thing. They feel trapped. They feel trapped. And they believe that there's no way of getting out of that dilemma. So the level of trappedness that he feels as you guys have been fighting, it's not, think about parents fighting, right? It doesn't feel safe to talk to the parents about them fighting because, it doesn't feel safe. He's hearing it. He probably is a kid that has a tender heart. Does he have a tender heart? And these kids, they pick up in the environment what is hurting the environment. He's trying to navigate what to do with your heart. He's trying to navigate what to do with his dad. He feels like he's in the middle and he can't stop that. One thing that I would do, and I would recommend you thinking about this as an intervention ASAP, is I would actually have a family session with him in it. And I would have you guys 100% own the damage around your fighting and how that harmed him. Like, you guys need to fall on your sword and take ownership over why he felt so trapped. He couldn't stop it. Because everybody's trying to figure out like deep stuff for him, but he gave you the stuff that's on the surface, like the stuff that he was trapped. And I'm sure there's more in there, but parents taking ownership can let some of the steam out of what he's stuck in and normalize his stuck place and maybe give him a breath of fresh air as far as his own counseling work, because you guys are owning it instead of just pretending or going into shame and being mad at each other that somehow you caused this. It's like...
Or trying to explain it away, If you could just take ownership of it rather than, when dad does this, I have to, or when dad's saying, your mom, you know how she is. Sometimes we start to try to explain, and all that does is invalidate the other person's experience. And so really what you have to do is just own your role in the fighting, in the chaos that you've created in the household, and then the ways that has impacted your child.
So maybe go and see that family therapist first together, you two, because you guys got to be non-defended. Remember I talked about, what did I start the show with? Deflecting, blaming, defending, all that stuff is crazy making. But you guys...
well, that's...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Oh, go ahead. No, I just wanted to add, like, hearing you say that, like, at the top of the show, it really, like, resonated with me, too, because I've been in therapy, like, all these years. We've been married, like, 26 years now, and, like, some of my therapists have been, he might be your husband might be a little bit narcissistic, so through our arguing, he would deflect a lot or, like, turn it around, and it's like I was the one to blame, and I was just, so I don't know, just a lot of stuff to kind of deal with and manage, and my focus turned on, like, well, something must be wrong with me, and I need to fix me, and anyways, even my son in his note, he kind of alluded to that, like, yeah, Dad always, made it seem like he was in the right and couldn't be wrong ever. So I know, like, he picked up on all that because he was so sensitive. And,
sweet
we
boy.
just didn't get him the right support. And I just feel so much guilt and hurt, but I'm so hopeful and thankful that, we have an opportunity again to make this right.
You do.
Yes.
So get in. Bring that suicide note in to your first session with your therapist, and start working on what's going on in the coupleship. But don't wait too long to have him come in and just to normalize and have your husband own it. You know what? Yeah, I have. I oftentimes make it about your mom, and I've been wrong. I've been wrong in that. And I hope your husband will listen to this.
Yeah, hopefully he can hear that.
Yeah.
It is hard as parents of adults. My husband and I often talk about how challenging it is to sit in the discomfort of your kid telling you all the ways you hurt them. And we also find that being able to sit in that space with them and validate their experience just makes our relationship stronger. They need to be able to talk about what it looked like from their vantage point and how that's impacting their marriages and what we can do different. And there are times when it's really hard because you disagree with what the kid is saying. And my husband, he hates hearing that he wasn't around, but he was a Marine and he was deployed often. And so he wasn't around. He doesn't see it that way, though, because he was working. And he wasn't a deadbeat dad, and he had a deadbeat dad. And so he's nothing like that man. But he still ended up with children who feel like their dad wasn't ever around, even though he and I are still together, and he was away at work. But he has had to hear them and not come back with, but no, I was working. He's had to hear them and respond with, I'm really sorry that was so hard for you. And that's where you have to be in the first rounds of these conversations. Eventually they can come back around and see your side, and they'll present that. You don't have to present it. They do come back around and say, well, you at the age I am now, you had 2 kids and a deployed husband. That had to be really hard. But they couldn't get to that place until I could say, I'm really sorry you had an emotionally unavailable mother, and that I couldn't connect with how hard it was for your dad to be gone. So you guys have to show up for them. And like you said, you have this opportunity. It's such a blessing that you have this opportunity, that you guys were able to find him, or however it turned out that you got him back. Take this time to do. You're looking for a good therapist for him, but I think you and your husband need a good therapist based on that letter he wrote.
Yeah, Angie, I think you said that you've been to a therapist, but have you been to couples therapy?
Yeah, we have.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking more for like a referral to like a family therapist, because I do think like we need to heal, like with us there and him.
Yeah. That's
processing all of this.
I think you do, but I also think that couples therapy is in order, because him coming into a family therapy session with you all just to yell and scream at each other is not going to do him any good. You and your husband need to get on the same page, and then bring him in.
Right. So I think we now, we're in a better place in these past like 3 or 4 years, like than we had been in the past. But I feel like we don't really argue and do all that like we used to. It has much improved, but I think like the damage was like already done, you know.
Yeah. And sometimes people will say, well, that's in the past. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So work with your husband so that he understands, even though it's in the past, it's still present in the body.
Yeah. And you'll need to hear your boy, because even if it was in the past, he's living it like it's now. He wasn't suicidal 4 years ago when it was going on or whatever. There's stuff going on. And so anyway, I hope we said something that makes sense to you.
Yeah, and we'll think of a resource to send to you. How We Love? Okay, we'll send you the How We Love book. That's also available for purchase online at newlife.com. But stay on the phone, Angie. We will send that out to you at no cost. Thanks so much for listening to New Life Live. If you're watching us on YouTube, you are essentially signaling to us at New Life that you enjoyed our video when you click that like button. And most importantly, it helps the YouTube algorithm promote our video to more people, potentially increasing the visibility in search results and recommendations. So thank you for doing that. More of your phone calls coming up. David, you're next.
What a New Life course is it's around a topic led by a professional licensed counselor coach with a small group of 8 or 9 people on a weekly Zoom call. You're going to go through the information, but also connect as a group. Those group processes make all the difference in the world. And so we have created New Life courses so that you can experience that on a weekly basis. Every week you're meeting on Zoom with that therapist. You're going over the concepts as well as connecting as a group. It is so powerful. And it's accessible. Wherever you are, you're going to be able to join us. So you can sign up right away with 8 or 9 slots open. They're going to go quick. And so you want to call today and get registered.
Begin your transformation in April with a New Life course. Lose it for life, grief recovery, or divorce recovery. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com.
I was sort of vaguely familiar that the 12 steps had some origination in the Bible. I found life recovery. And one of the things I liked so much was that it had such a broad appeal. It wasn't limited to just alcohol or drugs, that it was addressing a wide range of problems.
At New Life, we believe everyone can benefit from a life recovery experience. There are life recovery groups all over the country. They take place online, in conference calls, and in person. And if there isn't one in your area, we can help you start one. We have startup materials, leaders' guides, CDs, Bibles, and more, all with discounts available for groups. Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE and ask for Terry Ward. The 12 Steps have long been a great help to people in recovery because much of the 12 Steps' power comes from the fact that they capture principles clearly revealed in the Bible.
The 12 steps is really a pattern for all of us as Christians.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Dr. Sheri Keffer and Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris are here to answer the questions that you have for us today. So let's go right back to the phones. Here is David, who listens on my old stomping grounds, KKLA in Los Angeles. How you doing, David?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. We appreciate your phone call.
Good. Sure. Yeah, so I'm calling about, give me 1 second, please. I'm calling about helping my wife to retire. She's been self-employed almost all of her life, and work has been. She really loves her work, but her work is damaging her physically, and it's just really, really difficult for her to let go. So I'm trying to help her to do that, and I'm having mixed success.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, is there something that I can do to help her to let go? She's had to work very hard for very long, for a number of reasons, and she's just really having a hard time letting it go.
David, if she stops working, how does that change her financial situation?
It actually doesn't. She'll be fine.
Does she when you talk to her? Does she? Go ahead.
The way it would change is that she would not have income coming in, but she would have enough money so that it would not matter.
Okay. So she wouldn't have income coming in, but she would have enough money so that it doesn't matter. Does she see? You said she's worked really hard for a really long time, because she's had to. Has poverty ever been a part of her story?
Yes, many years ago. Yes. And
has she ever been in a situation where she had to rely on someone else for her finances, and that wasn't a good, safe situation?
And that person failed her, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
and that when I talk to her about it, she will refer to that, to a particular time in her life when her then husband failed, walked out, and left her high and dry.
Yeah, some of us girls grew up.
Disabled son.
Oh, wow. With a what?
A disabled son. Some of us girls grew up being told that men couldn't be trusted and that we better always be able to take care of ourselves. And so she is now coming to retirement years, and that memo is still there. That track is still playing. She may need to work with a professional, because while you aren't that guy, you still might trigger the same insecurities, the same, like the idea of relying on money that she is not making to be okay doesn't even click. It doesn't click in for her. So she might really need to work with someone to get to a place where, one, a financial person to help her see that she'll be okay, and two, a therapist to help her work through the fear of not working.
You've been married how long?
Okay.
How long?
We've been married for 25 years.
Okay. And was there ever a financial struggle with you?
No.
Okay.
No, we've always been very stable financially. Never had any difficulty.
How much access has she had to the monies that you've made?
Full access.
So she has full access, everything's shared, any investments going on, she's privy to. She can actually see the numbers going up if you have something that you're making residuals on.
Yes, she actually has better access than I do. She knows it better than I do.
Okay.
My checks and any money that I've ever made have gone automatically without any detours directly into a joint account.
Yeah, no, I get it. Any reason that she wouldn't trust you relationally? Anything that's happened over the 25 years?
Well, the one thing that we might have a difficulty with is my I think that I suffer from ADD. Her cousin is a doctor of psychology, and he gave me a very short question, very informal one time when we were visiting, and he said, absolutely. He said, there's no question, you suffer from ADD. I don't know how severe it is or anything like that, but I know it drives her nuts sometimes because I don't remember things. I don't necessarily follow through with things the way I should, and that's another thing that I need to work on. I need to find some way to better cope with that. But that's something that I haven't really been aware of or anything until recently.
Well, there's therapists and coaches that work in that area that could be really helpful for you, David.
You know, it's so interesting. There's this idea of triggers and how they open up in the past and the present. And I know we've had a trigger worksheet that we give out to people, right? But it's interesting. She's got a real situation that happened, and then she's got a husband who's got ADD, and so she might be saying, can I trust him? Can I trust him? Can I trust him?
Yeah. We'll be right back with you, David, and also Jordan and Stephen. Don't hang up.
New Life Ministries saved my completely broken marriage.
No matter how much hurt you've had to face, no marriage is beyond hope. At New Life Ministries Intimacy and Marriage Weekend, licensed counselors will help you rebuild communication skills and renew your commitment to each other.
You're building authentic intimacy, and you're learning how to connect on an emotional and relational level. You're learning how to listen. You're learning how to identify those core patterns that get in the way of good relationship.
The Intimacy and Marriage Weekend is February 14th to the 16th in Orange County, California. Register online at newlife.com or call 1-800-NEW-LIFE and use the discount code NLL to save $50. 1-800-639-5433.
3.5 years later, we're still going strong. I would encourage anybody who's struggling in their marriage to go. They are more effective than anything else we tried.
Club New Life changes lives.
I think I go way back to listening to New Life, learning so much from it, and then becoming a Club New Life member.
Club New Life is a monthly giving family that helps New Life Ministries provide Christ-centered hope and counseling resources to thousands of people.
I'm so thankful because why I keep giving? Because I keep learning, and I'm so thankful for all the lives that you touch every day and the people's lives. So when I get to still hear the radio show, it's just so encouraging to my heart.
When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, you'll make a difference in the lives of individuals and families with godly counsel and connection to help.
And one reason I give? Because I feel like sometimes I'm hiding behind a counselor's couch listening to all this great information and not paying, so my guilt of this great advice is alleviated by being a Club New Life member.
Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. And together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Welcome back to New Life Live. I'm Brian Perez. David in Los Angeles. We're going to send you a copy of the How We Love book, so stay on hold and we'll get that out to you. But right before the break, Sheri, you happened to mention this tip sheet that we're offering called What to Do When You Get Triggered, and it was co-authored by our very own Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris, who is here in the studio with us. And we want to get you a copy of this tip sheet when you call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. But Jacqui, why should people get this tip sheet?
It has some really helpful aids and questions. It can guide you when you feel triggered. It's that moment. Like, it starts out with, like, you're having a good day until wham. Like, all of a sudden something happens. Some sight, sound, taste, smell, touch, something rubs you the wrong way, and now you've been transported back to some painful past experience. And most of the time we don't have a memory to go along with it, so it's just living in our body. Just something, you smell something, or someone says something to you and you start to feel mad, frustrated, scared, and there's really no rational reason, because what you're feeling is bigger. It's like the idea of a tiger's chasing you. And so Chris's emotional aid kit is the awareness of what's going on inside, and then identify what's going on inside and disclose what's going on inside. And then I go to get curious, and the 5 questions that you want to, and I have my clients do this every day. Check in with yourself daily, because most of us don't know what we feel when something's happening. So what do I feel? Where do I feel that in my body? Why do I feel this way? When have I felt like this before? And what do I need? And working through these questions can really help resolve the trigger and prevent it from happening again, because now it's not this unknown thing that just came upon you. It's something that this is attached to this past experience.
All right, so get your hands on this tip sheet by calling us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now let's go back to the phones, going to Denton, Texas. Jordan, listening on KWRD.
Absolutely. Thank you for all you do. A little background. So I am the provider for my family. I grew up with, like, detachment because my mom had a brain bleed when I was 15 that went to her brain. So she was in ICU for months and had to relearn how to walk and talk and all that good stuff. My dad was not around, so that's just kind of the background, because I know family systems matter through going through therapy and trying to overcome what I have been. So with that said, I went into marriage with that background, and so I chose somebody that probably wasn't the best for me. And God probably was warning me, because lightning hit the church right before we got married, like 1 minute before we got married, and electricity went out. But side note, I know, right? With that said, he has betrayed me for about 10 years. We've been married for 15. With alcohol, with porn, with weed, with experimental things, and he just would lie to me constantly. Long story short, I had twin babies. I found out through the grace of God, just giving that, I have a very strong sense of intuition, and he kept telling me to dig, look, and I couldn't let go of that feeling, so I kept following it, and then I found out he was not recovered. I was in a place I could not leave him. I'm the sole provider for our family. I've never taken maternity leave. I went to work 3 days after I had the twins. So that's the background. With that said, I've done therapy. He's done therapy, and we were getting at a little bit better place, but I just don't feel like I'm ever going to want to be intimate with him ever again. From the unsafe, like, it's like my nervous system knows my nervous system picks up on everything, and it's just like red flag, like anytime, even when he's hugging me, and it's like, now he is sober and he's done his work and he is actively in therapy weekly, but he'll be like, "You're so beautiful," and it just feels like a great uncle telling me I'm so beautiful. I don't feel connected to him anymore, and I don't know if it's possible to get those feelings back, because I am one of those people that my psychologist said I'm a 1 on the spectrum. So I do see black and I see white. I don't see a lot of gray. And therefore, it just is one of those things. It's like a light switch, and I just turned it off. After he betrayed me one more time on our anniversary in August. He lied to me. I asked if we went to go get pictures on Facebook for our anniversary to post about our relationship, and I went to his mom's Facebook, and she had blocked me, and I didn't know that. And I said, "Did your mom block me?" And he said, "I don't know." He knew darn well she blocked me. And I was like, "Are you sure?" And then I found out that he knew, and then he put this on a group text and said, "You guys figure it out." And so from that point forward, I'm like, you're lying still about the small stuff, and that stuff matters to me. You betrayed me so long. And even though he hasn't done anything recently, that just kind of was like the other light switch. It's like the electricity went out in my body.
When he did this August anniversary, was that August 2024, or when was that? Okay.
That was August 2024.
And did you ever find out why his mom blocked you on Facebook?
Yes, because she's Catholic, and I put up a post about because my husband didn't act like he was a Christian, and he wasn't a Christian, and he became a Christian, but he left the Catholic Church. And so therefore she sees me as demonic for making him leave the Catholic Church. But I just put a post about how proud I was of him, that he beat addiction, and that he was truly seeking Christ, and we are reading the Bible every day with our children. And it was a positive post. Mm-hmm. But she blocked me because she sees me as a threat, and that he's not going to go to heaven because I pulled him away from the Catholic Church, and he's not doing his job as a father by not raising his kids in the Catholic Church, because there's no other religion that will get you to heaven other than Catholicism.
Wow.
All
and
right.
my parents feel the same way, so it's just a lot of lots of rabbit holes.
So, precious Jordan, there's so much here. I'm going to set his mom on on a shelf for a second, like an elf on a shelf. I'm going to set his mom on a shelf, even though that has to feel so painful. There's hallmarks of recovery that go past sobriety. So sobriety is, when is the last time I've sexually acted out in any way? right, looking at porn, any kind of sexual acting out. And I don't know everything that he did, but definitely alcohol, porn, weed, lies. But one of the telltale signs that I look for in really healthy recovery is honesty and truth. And if somebody is still lying to you, there is lying or truth. Truth is at the very bottom. If I could, draw a triangle here, and if I had a foundation for that triangle at the very bottom, like the cement, the cornerstone, it's actually honesty. And if somebody is not working and they're not honest at that foundational level, the next level would be trust. I can't trust somebody who's betrayed me sexually if they're not honest. So your body is picking up on the dishonesty. And in some ways, I think you're trying to tap down the trust. You're trying to still trust him. You're posting about how great he's doing because you really want to be there. You just want to be there. Mm-hmm. And I get that. I think a lot of us as betrayed partners, we will spiritualize what's going on. We want that more than life itself. I know that you want to be past what's happened, but I think what's leaking into the present is some signs that are making you scared to re-engage with him sexually. And one of the things that I do in my practice is called a therapeutic full disclosure with or without a polygraph. And I have many clients that end up using the polygraph, and there's a disclosure. There's questions that you ask that are polygraph tested to see if that person is really being honest with you. Are they in recovery or are they still hiding? But you're trying to pick up on, is this healthy recovery or not? Is he being honest or is he still hiding? And so there's some truth seeking that I think may need to be explored by you and him together, and maybe with the help of a third party who does things like this, so that you can kind of know once and for all how safe he is. Because until you know the truth, you're not going to feel safe in your body, and your body's going to be shut down for business. And that's not healthy for either one of you. It's healthy if he's acting out. That's like, okay, you need to be safe, but we'll talk more.
Okay. Sounds good. Jordan, stand by. We'll be back to you.
We all face days where life throws us a curveball and our routines or plans get disrupted. Things we wanted to do are forced to take a backseat to the unexpected demands of the day. If you normally listen to New Life Live on a radio station, well, you might not be able to that day. And on these hectic days when you're feeling stressed or frazzled, hearing the sound of counsel given on New Life Live is just what you need to navigate the unexpected things of life.
Every time I'm troubled or I have a problem, I'll cut on New Life, and there's always something that is said that is helpful to me.
By listening, I have learned more than I can ever express about how God wants me to live.
Download the New Life app for the easiest way to listen wherever you are and at a time that's convenient for you, or watch the show on our YouTube channel. You can even subscribe to our podcast from your favorite podcast provider. You never have to miss a day of New Life. Wherever you are, we are. For over 35 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
Your ministry has saved my life.
If you struggle with emotional hurt, family or marriage problems, the pit of depression, or the pain of addiction, we can help.
I'm down 100 pounds now from what I was.
I found a counselor through New Life Ministries, and it's just been outstanding.
Our treatment programs provide clinically appropriate solutions from licensed professionals, all in a biblical framework.
I have had problems with alcohol. I think God has ordained this place to be His.
You don't have to be a prisoner of your pain. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
She tells me that I'm a new man, and I feel like a new man.
It worked for me, and
it can work for them too.
This time it is different.
If you're ready to take the first steps toward genuine spiritual and emotional healing, call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. God can open the door for a better tomorrow.
To get someone that's competent, that's good at what they do, it's been like day and night compared to what I've had before.
Call 1-800-639-5433. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Would you consider supporting us financially here at New Life Ministries? Your gift will be put to work right away to directly support our programs that offer hope where there is despair, healing where there is brokenness, and purpose where there is emptiness. You can give online at newlife.com or by calling 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Back to Jordan in Texas. Hi, Jordan. You still with us?
Yes.
Great. Okay.
And I did want to say I do know he's doing the work because my best friend is a therapist, and she hooked him up with a really good therapist that she knew of that works family systems and just kind of has helped me along the journey. But the most thing I'm concerned about is that I'm not going to come back, like, mentally.
And I have a chapter.
I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah, well, I have a chapter in my book called "Remember When Sex Was Safe and Skydiving Was Dangerous," and we're going to send you a copy of "Intimate Deception: Healing the Wounds of Sexual Betrayal," because I've got a chapter in there called "To Tell the Truth," which talks about truth. But I think you're feeling very stuck. And I know that I've done some work, some EMDR, stands for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, with betrayed partners that feel like I can't trust him with my body again. That's like it's a trauma-induced shame belief. It's a betrayal trauma-induced shame belief. And so that belief actually kind of holds their sexuality hostage. Now, I've done work to help them move from I can't trust him with my body to I can learn what feels safe sexually with him. But that is not like, it's not like just one thought. It's not a quick fix. It's not a Band-Aid. It is a process of actually processing the deeper traumas around the sexual violation, the sexual betrayal, the sexual hurt that is now being held in your body. And it's being held it's like your body is kind of holding you hostage. It's trying to keep you safe because you don't want to be hurt again. And it's so vulnerable to be sexual again. So the first thing you want to know is that there's truth and that you feel that he's safe. But then there's this whole sexual frontier that there needs to be some healing from the trauma of that. So hopefully when you read my book, there'll be some things in there that just make a lot of sense to you. It's nothing wrong with you. Something wrong happened to you, and there's trauma work that needs to be done. Very specific trauma work.
Yeah, so just like he's doing his work now, you have work to do. The fear that you won't come back, some of that may be instinct and like your choice is to stay safe. Your body's choice is to stay safe. You can also choose to be vulnerable, but you have to get to a place where you can do that. And what I'm hearing you say is there's no part of you that is interested in even looking in that direction.
Like the switch has been turned off.
The switch has been turned off. And there are times where we do that for other reasons and have to work your way back. And there are therapists that specialize in that. And so reading Dr. Sheri's book and connecting with a therapist for yourself that specializes in what has become for you maybe a sexual disorder could be beneficial.
So that book is called Intimate Deception. We're going to send you a copy. And you might also want to purchase Trust by Henry Cloud. That one's available on the newlife.com store. Okay, so let's read a question that was submitted online, because there's other ways that you can get your questions to us, not just by calling us when we're here live, but if you go to newlife.com/radio, you'll find out the other ways that you can send in your question. Nicole, who watches us on YouTube in the U.S. Virgin Islands, wants to know, how do I start my healing journey if I can't forgive my husband for his emotional affair? A few months ago, I noticed that my husband was spending more time on his phone and social media accounts. He was also paying special attention to one of my friends who is currently separated. I started monitoring his phone and discovered that he was having sexually explicit conversations with her. I confronted him about it, and he said that he was doing it for attention. In further discussion, he says he doesn't know why it happened and has been struggling with masturbation. He's a believer and an active member of our church congregation. Now I feel that he's being hypocritical for his behavior. He says he wants to reconcile, but I'm having a hard time trusting him. I haven't discussed this with anyone, and I feel betrayed. So kind of a similar situation to Jordan. So Jacqui, we'll start with you. What do you say to Nicole?
I'm sorry that you're going through that, Nicole. And I think you start the journey in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Sheri?
Sheri?
Oh, you passed the ball pretty quickly there,
Yep.
girl. Nicole, when I hear what happened, that he was having sexually explicit conversations with your friend, well, first off, that's a double betrayal. Not only did he betray you, but your friend betrayed you by not letting you know what was going on with she and your husband. When you asked him about it, my instincts went up because I thought, sounds like he's minimizing, sounds like he's kind of avoiding the deeper, painful ramifications of that. It sounds like he's wanting you to move forward. I want to repair. But the damage has been done. And I can see why you are feeling like he's a hypocrite, right? Because it's like, who are you? Why would you do that to me with your friend? And you're having a hard time because he's not taking full responsibility for what he's done, for the damage that he's done. This is betrayal. And I might even put it into, this might not feel good, but someone might say, well, it's emotional, but it's emotional sexual violation because he was having sexual conversations. Now, he may not have physically acted out, but the sexual nature of what he was saying is harmful. I don't want to minimize that. And then he's masturbating. So I would recommend he come to Every Man's Battle. Mm-hmm. I think these kind of betrayals are the one that often get missed early on. And it's kind of all minimized, and then you kind of ride off into the sunset, and then whammo, there's another situation 2 years down the road, and you're put the pieces together. Let's get intervention now. Get him into Every Man's Battle. And we'll send you a copy of my book, if that's okay. Intimate Deception, Healing with Sexual Betrayal. I'm for both of you. I want you guys to heal, but this is a deep wound, and it's not a superficial scratch.
Yeah, so we'll get you a copy of that book. And the Every Man's Battle Intensive is happening February 28th in Orange County, California. You can get all the details at newlife.com. That's not the only intensive we've got coming up. There's also the Intimacy and Marriage Intensive happening the weekend of February 14th in Orange County. A few months down the line, May 2nd through the 4th, the Restore Healing After Betrayal Conference, and that is in Dallas, Texas. And there's so much going on here at New Life. It is amazing, all the work that we do. You do not have to struggle alone as long as New Life Ministries is here. You can call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. You can tell us what's going on. There are many ways that we can help you. A caring person will help you find your next right step. So thank you so much for entrusting us with the things that you're going through. Thank you for calling us when we're here live, and we look forward to speaking to you again next time here on New Life Live. For Dr. Sheri Keffer and Dr. Jacqui Mack-Harris, I'm Brian Perez. God bless you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will be back again soon, and we look forward to hearing from you then. God bless.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, But you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or online at newlife.com. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Thanks for watching today. We love helping people. I hope you sense that. And we know that there's always hope if you find the right resource. Now, if something we've said to somebody else applies to you, that's fantastic. That's what we're hoping for. But also, if you want to join us directly, you can call 1-800-229-3000 between 1 and 3 Eastern Time, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Those are the best times to get through. And while you're here on YouTube, check out these other videos that we've done to help people see where they could grow or a different path to take. And if you do that, would you give us a thumbs up on the video, and please subscribe to this channel. There are many ways that we can help you outside of the radio program, and it's very hard for some to pick up a phone and dial 1-800-NEW-LIFE, but when you do, we put you in touch with somebody who cares about you, knows all the resources out there, and they're going to find the best for you. There is no reason to struggle alone. I hope to see you tomorrow. Hope you'll invite somebody else to come and join that maybe needs just a little bit of help along the way. I'll see you next time.